Gotta make this video for the big teeth trolls, man. Hey, bro, listen, calm down, bro. Your bitch ain't going nowhere, bro. She gonna still be there. I don't want her.
With T.I. and Tiny dealing with the fallout, a leaked film that allegedly shows KingHarris in a private moment with a DL companion has surfaced. When the footage got to King's and T.I.'s residences, the case quickly became more serious. T.I., who is well known for speaking his mind, is dealing with a problem that is personal to him. Big Nana, his partner, is reportedly going to considerable measures to protect his family's reputation, even hiring a private investigator to determine who leaked the video, which is making an already difficult situation even more difficult. The drama is more complex than the rumors that King's ex-partner attempted to extort the family by releasing the tape. Some have criticized King and Tiny's lack of closeness with their children, and they have been under fire for years for their parenting. King has acknowledged that his grandmother is someone he feels more connected to than his parents. This situation is exacerbated by the fact that Tu is upset at King's alleged incapacity to question him over his sex. The father and son are becoming more tense as a result of this revelation, which also presents difficult questions about their family dynamic. Possibly the biggest challenge the Harris family has ever faced, it has the potential to completely change their relationship and public perception in unexpected ways.
Had a struggle. You never had 10 bands. So you done or you finished? Now you done or you finished, my brother? Tell your mother Happy Mother's Day and stop getting on here being a mistake. You hear me? Go love on your mother and stop hating on the nigga. It's Mother's Day. This day's supposed to go to your mother. You trying to give it to me. Come on, bro. I ain't your fucking mama. I ain't your fucking daddy. Go do that shit to your mama and your pappy. Never had a struggle. You and your people still struggling. We done made it. We done made it. I'm glad we done made it. Your people still trying to figure it out. So if I was you, I'd ask me, damn, what could I do?
The second youngest kid of T.I. and Tiny, KingHarris, was born into a realm of celebrity, but his childhood was very different from what viewers may have imagined from the glitzy scenes on Family Hustle. King's reality was far more nuanced. He was raised mostly by his grandmother for a large portion of his early years, which caused a great emotional gap between him and his parents. As King recognized in a number of interviews, this arrangement had consequences. Instead of living a normal family life, he revealed he felt more like a supporting role model for his parents, observing them more during the filming of the reality show. This early divergence caused dynamic wounds that have persisted over time. Due to his upbringing in a household that was surrounded by celebrity and media attention, King was unable to get the emotional support he required when things got tough. He has been open about his feelings, expressing how it feels to be. As King grew older and rebelled despite the fame and wealth that came with being a part of the Harris family, these unresolved concerns began to surface. They were more of an afterthought than a priority in a family that was more concerned with maintaining a public image than building personal relationships. Without his parents' emotional support, King was forced to face difficulties alone. His sense of being ignored wasn't. Another observation made by Family Hustle fans was that King seemed to be overshadowed by his siblings, particularly his older sister Zeke, who was focusing on her own musical career. These early experiences of neglect and comparison have only made King's relationship with his family more strained, especially with his father, T.I. It is clear that these unresolved concerns are a major factor in the drama that is currently unfolding.
I'm telling you, boy, you were just at Chop Cafe. Niggas kicked you out. Like, I don't know if that's what made you but I don't like.
The exact circumstances surrounding the video's release remain unclear, but sources suggest that T.I. and Tiny may have been the victims of extortion. Because of T.I.'s reputation for protecting it, the leak was a devastating betrayal to their entire family, not just their son King. The film was shared by KingHarris' own partner, whom he trusted, and it allegedly shows him at a private moment. It was made more difficult when King's girlfriend, Big Nana, got hold of the video. Tiny, who is usually seen as the softer parent, was allegedly distraught and speechless when she heard the news. The couple had a tremendous deal of strain as a result of the leak, which cast considerable doubt on King's loyalty and honesty. T.I. responded to the leak promptly, and some even speculate that their relationship may not withstand the controversy's aftermath. Sources claim that King hired a private investigator to see where the movie originated and whether the alleged DL partner had been attempting to blackmail King or the family. When T.I. decided to start this investigation, it demonstrated his resolve to protect his kids in spite of personal obstacles. It was discovered through the investigation that King's putative ex-partner had tried to extort him for the privacy of the video. T.I. is accused of working with law enforcement to have the extortionist arrested. This effort was not only to make sure the offender was held accountable, but also about sending a statement that the Harris family would not be exploited or manipulated. Nonetheless, while T.I. handled the legal side of things, the family's emotional distress increased. Insiders stated that T.I., Tiny, and King argued angrily during the encounter, and the focus shifted from the recording to the more significant issues that had been exposed by the scandal. Ty finds it hard to believe that his son might have a minor gender identity because he built his company on hyper-masculine and conservative ideas. The mediator just emphasized the parents' ongoing distance from their child in her attempt to reconcile the situation. King, for his part, spoke candidly throughout the conversation. He placed there is direct responsibility on his parents, who are accused of prioritizing their careers and public reputations over their parental duties. Because of the harsh environment his grandmother created, King admitted that he was unable to confide in anybody in the family about his personal problems. The conversation became tearful after King revealed that he felt abandoned. The real issue turned out to be more extensive than the leaked video, as T.I. focused on managing the controversy. At the heart of the drama surrounding the Harris family for years had been the emotional distance between King and his parents. This alienation finally caused King to decide who to trust, which in turn led to the video leak.
I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas. His ass going to prison. If you goddamn keep this shit up, his ass in prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
The repercussions over the recording quickly escalated, and Tiny and T.I. couldn't agree on how to move forward. According to Tiny, the monarch should address the rumors, saying that it would be much less damaging to own the narrative than to let it run amok in the press. King had the opportunity to turn the incident into a positive thing, and Tiny claimed that the world has become more accepting. Although he experienced a moment of empowerment by being himself, he saw things differently because, as a well-known figure in the hip-hop industry, which is often criticized for being overly masculine and intolerant of LGBT people, he was worried about how going public would affect his own name. He believed it would just stoke the fires and provide dissidents with additional opportunities to ruin their family. There was a significant difference in their parenting approaches, as evidenced by their meager attempt at transparency, saying that keeping things hidden just made things worse. In contrast, Ty was more focused on preventing damage and safeguarding their family's heritage. During this lesson, King had to decide whether to disclose the truth or to protect his family from more scrutiny. T.I. was accused throughout the hearing of the argument of putting his reputation before the well-being of his son. Tiny's immaturity regarding the harshness of the world was retorted by T. At the heart of the dispute was a question neither parent could answer. Should King prioritize protecting the family's reputation or putting his own authenticity first? On the one hand, King wanted to get away from the extreme pressure he was under. The expectations and criticisms that had molded his life up to this point were unavoidable. But he also had to consider the significance of his family's legacy and the possible consequences of his actions for people in his immediate vicinity. But it wasn't just about King. This discussion exposed weaknesses in the Harris family that fans couldn't overlook. And some fans are genuinely rooting for T.I. for defending King in such a difficult moment because they think that the father T.I. is simply trying to make sure that his kid is not taken advantage of by those who want to profit from his mistakes, despite some fans condemning him for being unduly controlling and ignoring King's independence. They emphasize that blackmail is a serious matter and that its legal engagement shows how seriously he takes safeguarding his family's reputation. According to their citation of T.I.'s earlier comments about his daughter's virginity, they show a pattern of behavior that doesn't especially encourage open communication. It is hypothesized by critics that King's feelings of isolation and difficulty talking to his parents about his problems may be exacerbated by this type of control. Whoa, according to one commenter, King should stop controlling every aspect of his children's lives. Is managing this, and he requires assistance rather than criticism or overreaction. King should be allowed to live his truth without fear, another person said. Seeing Du's reaction, which appears to be more concerned with his personal reputation than his son's well-being, sparks more extensive conversations about parenting, generational differences, and acceptance, which is disheartening. A lot of younger followers are pointing out that adults should be more tolerant of gender, asserting that King's experiences reflect the times in which they live and that he ought to be allowed to live his truth without worrying about criticism or having to fit in with outdated values. There are still a lot of unanswered concerns about the Harris family predicament. Does T.I. have a right to protect his son's privacy, in your opinion, or should King take control of his own narrative and tell the truth? Send me your thoughts. Everyone seems to have an opinion, so please feel free to voice yours in the comments box below, since this tale is far from over.